I've always heavily criticized the way that people value SEO and the way that it's priced and packaged in general. And that's why a big part of my mission is helping people understand what exactly they're paying for so that you can decide for yourself what is the actual numeric or personal value of SEO or SEO services. And so today, not only are we going to try to do that, but we're also going to try to help my fellow SEOs figure out how to properly get their value when they're trying to pitch potential clients. I'm a firm believer that SEO has been a big player within the marketing game. Not only that, but as an economic enthusiast, I think that it's very cool because it made a whole ton of jobs. It changed a lot of people's lives, including mine. So today we're going to talk about how to build value. We're going to talk about KPI framework and the way that we want to build it out in order to prove our business impact. And we're also going to try to look at the other side of the coin here and try to factor in numerical costs. What's a good deal look like? How do I spot a bad one before I invest in something I don't intend to? As always, thank you for your time. I'm Alex Palmer, founder of OptiLineage, a digital marketing agency founded in Northeast Pennsylvania. And it's my job to help you win. So let's get to it. So if we're trying to measure results, then we need to, of course, look at the right things, and that is where the term KPI is born, basically. So what are the key points? Big easy for starters is reach, because within reach, we have organic traffic and visibility. I think it's on the easier side of reporting to take a look at how many unique visitors are landing on the site from unpaid organic search engine results. And beyond that, showing clients ranking positions to actually prove what their search visibility looks like. Now, with the addition of AI, it's even easier because we can show them AI citations. Now, the thing that everybody really wants is conversion and, of course, quality of lead. For everyone who actually does the job, I'm going to say it because not enough people say it. This is the, oh man, everything and the kitchen sink of SEO. Because of course, if there's 500,000 people searching for a given thing, I can absolutely get all 500,000 of them to your doorstep. And 100% I can get all 500,000 of them to say yes to your service for whatever ticket that your brain made up today. But it's the bottom line. If you're not converting, then what's the point? Now, for the most part, me personally, this is why within my own service offerings, I try to position myself very clearly as a service provider. What I'm offering is the information that will logically lead you to the conclusion, the result. However, I am selling the means to the end, not the end. I have also said I can build Rome, but I can't promise that people will come to the Colosseum. But it makes logical sense, right? If you build it, they will come. And so what I'm trying to point out here is the ability to verify leads using various methods, in my case, mostly just tracking codes. Basically, as an SEO, who is selling based on value, that is to say, I'm promising the result, this is pivotal that you find a way to verify your leads. As far as consumers go, if they have no idea where it's coming from or how much the average numbers actually look like, that may be a sign. Even if you're just working with somebody who provides the service that will help you get to the result, make sure that they know enough about how the result comes out or how to otherwise help you see the result. Ask them, well, how would you figure out how many people are actually clicking and converting from this article or this page? Ask them how many people would call from the Google business profile, how many calls out of the ones that are tracked are actual calls, and how many of those convert. Are you paying for clicks or are you paying for impressions? That's the bottom line. Impressions means you're getting seen. Clicks means you're getting traction. Another item that's important to measure is keyword movement and overall SERP real estate. How many keywords are we hitting? What are our positions? And how are we moving within those SERPs? The more efficiently that we fill out the knowledge graph about our business, who we are, what we do, what we know about, what our experiences are, the more reliably Google can pitch us in varying situations. Make sure that we're figuring out every who, what, when, where, why about us and answering all of those questions. Follow it up with what are all the other questions people would ask about anything that we can help them with. In my case, that's how I actually kind of niched up and started to go into marketing and business consulting, because a big piece after you get through these parts is the sales end. How do I actually manage them once I get them to the door? How do I upsell? How do I otherwise keep the client happy, keep them coming back month to month? How do I manage the employees who are helping me serve that client? I won't go crazy on the keywords, because everybody goes crazy on the keywords. There's lots of undercooked AI slop out there. I hear about it all the time. I know that you hear about it all the time too. Don't be a contributor, be the one who fixes it. And one of the last things that we can do to help show our value, of course, is showing core web vitals. Stuff such as successful indexing, tracking page speed, mobile performance. Generally, these things come in an easily packaged and re-given format where we can very easily prove to somebody who understands it perhaps a little less than we do what exactly is working and is providing value for their business. What I'm trying to say is, even to the unengaged, if I said, hey, I have a web page that loads in less than 1 second on both cell phones and desktop, that's fast, right? Simple. Well, how did you do that? And while we're happy to explain how that's done, that right there is the value. How did I do it? The next part I'll tell you about is going to rely more on the actual communication with the client. So now this is mostly for my fellow SEOs. Ask yourself, so what? Every time that you bring up something important, like a key metric, ask yourself, so what? So it's like, hey, your keyword rank went up by like 12 positions. Okay, so what? Well, that means our main service's money page moved to page 1, which actually brought over 1,000 more visitors in organic traffic. And I was able to track that back to about 10 sales calls that we had this month. Mostly for the guys who are value-based internal employees or are otherwise working on a retainer. I would say we want to kind of structure our reporting similar to an inverted pyramid. So our meat and potatoes is going to be what happened, why it mattered, and what the bottom line impact was, very similar to what I just covered. Then, of course, we want to give it some context because most likely the client is not an SEO expert. That's why they're working with us. Explain what everything means, explain the algorithm shifts, how it affects what they're seeing, seasonality, technical fixes that need to be deployed that are standing in our way that might be affecting us. And then, of course, finally, how are we going to deploy based on the things that we've noticed during the course of our last 30 days of work? You don't have to basically data dump 30 pages worth of numbers on somebody who isn't even going to understand most of it in the first place. What are the important parts? What does it mean for me? How are we going to keep improving? Why am I paying you? So now moving back to the perspective of the buyer, what might the right choice look like? And no, this is not a self-promo. I'll bet you expected one. I'm the best. I'll self-promo whenever I feel like, but that's not right now. So let's say for the sake of argument, I'm a local business. I am a medical practice. So very likely what we're going to need is hyper-focused local SEO. This is going to mean stuff like optimizing our Google business profile, managing our category accuracy, dealing with our reputation management, potentially dealing with clicks and traffic. We're going to get into the realm of building clean and authoritative links. This could be citations, directories, press releases, guest posts, it goes on. This could be cleaning up existing links of a similar nature. And this could come all the way down to dealing with stuff within the website, both in the technical realm and the traditional optimization realm. So if that's all of the things that you should be looking for, how much should it cost? Within the realm of $500 to $1,500 a month. Anybody who's saying any more or any less is upselling you. I promise. Now, is that to say that spending more than $1,500 is not necessary? Not necessarily. More money in my case often means faster. Not for nothing though, there's other realms where you can also be making investments other than traditional or organic SEO. There's always stuff like ads and media production. Internal business improvements. You don't have to spend $10,000 on SEO is what I'm telling you. Generally, anything less than about $500 is mostly going to be lazy, automated, or otherwise missing the care that you're actually looking for. Again, the value realm of $500 to $1,500 I think is appropriate for what somebody in a scenario such as this would reasonably be trying to achieve. So in a second example, let's say I'm in e-commerce. Let's say I sell t-shirts. We're going to be looking for a comprehensive and technical SEO audit that's going to take a look at how our products are structured and siloed, how our content structure is affecting us, how our platform and setup may be holding us back, and how we can fix it, and backing it up with stuff like digital PR, authority, link building, and otherwise doing our utmost to improve the name and reputation of the brand. Stuff like this is a lot more aggressive and a lot more long haul due to the more linear nature of ranking, as well as the consistent need for updating. And so you'll find on the high end, you'll see retainers between 3,000 and 10,000. I think that's actually pretty egregious. I would say on the high end for something highly technical like ecom, especially somebody who's building a large or diverse brand, definitely 1500 to 3000. I would say that's a reasonable monetary realm in order to achieve the quality of care and all of the technical execution involved in something like this. And now to finalize things here, I want to remind you that if the promise directly is, I'm guaranteeing that you rank number one on Google in X amount of days for whatever number, that's snake oil. Again, this is why the one thing that I'm not really willing to sell is the result. A quality SEO endeavor will take a significant amount of time. In most cases, we're talking 4 to 8 months of consistent work. 4 to 8 months to see a reasonably tangible result that actually means sales. 4 to 8 months. At the end of the day, something key is going to be trust and transparency. I'll say both to the service providers and the consumers. If you feel like it's wrong, it's wrong. Business is a wide ocean. There will be other opportunities. Don't beat yourself up about the little things. At the end of the day, when we're talking reporting, we're mostly looking at clicks and how they turn into calls. But don't ignore the things that lead there, like impressions and reach. If you're not sure that your SEO guy is really delivering, or you just want to understand better how SEO works, or what your SEO endeavors are really doing for your business and what's holding you back, you can find me over at OptiLineage, where we offer free education and free consultation. Happy to help you learn more about SEO metrics, how to improve, whatever it is that's holding you back. I got you. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you soon.